Hello and welcome. I am poorly prepared as usual, so I will need some time to set up here in the beginning. Apologies for that. But today we're spectating a match, Sweden versus Switzerland. I'm not playing, I'm just commenting. And the first board, Charlie versus John, is starting 1 hour earlier, so we're going to be focusing only on this one to start with. So let's jump over to the game. And just recap the first few moves. And then my plan is that will, I guess, mainly be, I will do switching over to the analysis board so we can actually play out some variations, but let's start here. So the match is pretty even today on all the boards. So anything can happen, basically. No, what is it, one-sided matchups. Okay, what's going on? Charlie is playing white. No, Charlie is playing black. So he chose double 3/4s. And white went with 1/4/4, 1/3/4. Now black could just enclose the last corner. Not the last corner. Black could enclose a corner with, say, C14, but he instead chose to approach. White goes Kosumi, and black extends here. I think there's many, or a couple different extensions possible here, right? You can go either H3 or J3 or H4 or J4. I think all of these are kind of playable. What's nice about going 3 spaces is that if white kicks, then you have a nice spacing. I think it's not bad to go 2 spaces, but I just feel like after you get kicked, you feel it's a little bit narrow. So this way, probably white is not going to kick, because you would rather jump in here later to sort of punish this far extension, let's say, or make use of this far extension. So this is an interesting way to do it. You would normally start looking at the G3 and G4 points, but then black can just attach the other ones. So let's say white plays G3, black can attach G4. If white plays G4, black attaches G3. So maybe white feels this is not really a severe attack. Like we could expect G3, G4, let's say wedge. Even if we just Atari from the outside and here and white connects. White took away black's base, but black is sort of out and fine. So, will this be any different? First instinct for black would be to disconnect with J3. I don't know if this is what we'll see. Like locally this is the shape, but maybe the question is if E3 becomes too separated then. So we could see just some moving out. Moving out like this, okay. So white is going to Hana, I guess. Black extends, it's to be expected. And now there's still a cutting point on D6. So black sort of has Mii of coming back to J3, which looks quite nice now. It would almost kill H3. Or black could cut here next, I guess would be the other follow-up. Because after this cut, even if white tries Atari down here, black can just Atari and capture 2 stones. So white actually fixes this cutting point. And now again black has to think about, okay, is it worth it to extend E8, which is really big, and would also have the follow-up of F6, so it kind of maintains a nice Mii for black. Or black could just follow up over here, allow white to get, let's say, C8 or E8. What would I do? I think I would not be confident that just covering here is big enough. I guess another thing to think about is, what if we extend and white pushes out again? And then if we block here, we have some problem. Like white gets these cent exchanges, and then Hane here seems a little bit annoying. So I think I would lean towards just following up down here, J3. Try to capture H3, and we sort of just accept that D8 is going to be a little bit sad. Okay, he didn't go with this plan, he went with this, and white did extend here, okay. So interesting, now we'll maybe see what happens. Because now my concern was, if black goes down J3, I feel like the shortage of liberties on these stones is kind of a problem. So black actually extends to fix that. So this means then that white can connect back. I feels like this should be the next move. Yeah, white connects back. And now, okay, because white got to push here once, now black no longer has a perfect cover like f6. But still, you could turn here. Would be quite natural, I guess. Because, I mean, white could come out with an empty triangle, but then you could maybe g9. So locally it's a good shape to turn. Of course we could also just k4. Actually this is center, seems like, because we could push and cut here, and if white connects this side we can push in. So we would threaten to capture something. On the other side we get this ladder. But, you know, we push here, white just plays L4. It's not clear that this exchange is that good, let's say. But no, I would think k4. I think I'd rather k4 than... I don't know, it's difficult. Like, it's such a good shape for white if white gets k4. But you really need to worry about white playing this in Gote right now. But it's also kind of like black wants to test k4 right now, because later on, like, white maybe doesn't care as much about the two stones. So okay, I'm gonna guess k4. Yes. And I would think white needs to protect here somehow, and I feel like L4 would be the way to do it. It still leaves some Aji, let's say, with... Black could immediately push and cut here to just get a stone in, and then maybe even extend. But these stones are not really going anywhere right now. Could Hane, but by pushing we reduce these liberties. So I feel like white should L4. Okay, white doesn't L4. What does this mean? Now if we push and cut, could white capture it? And Atari and extend here, go down. It's like maybe a ko technically, but well, I guess it's a ko, but it seems like kind of a heavy ko for white. But anyways, I guess it's not that big for... I guess the two stones are not that important. I mean, maybe if black pushes and cuts, we are happy with just the Punuki, and also getting, let's say, the Ito Hane in center. I think that's good enough. And if black cuts the other side, we can just capture it. Well, giving the ladder is kind of painful. Okay, so maybe we don't get the Punuki. Okay, black doesn't push and cut. So maybe this would be our first thing to... would be interesting to check with AI maybe. Like, is the player's judgment correct that like this move is bigger than, let's say, just pushing and cutting right now? Like, we could push and cut. I guess white would connect L2. And then if we can capture two stones, wouldn't we rather do that than E2? I don't know. Uh-huh. So now, okay, yeah, this is kind of annoying because now... Oh, sorry, I missed something in chat. Can we cover 2 stones though? I kind of thought so. Maybe it was Ko, based on my reading. Let's look at it closer when I have the analysis board in a moment. Or maybe let's do this right now. I need to switch over here because I don't have a way to enter variations here. Let me just move the game here. Okay, so I think this is working right. And okay, so here's where we're at. And I was thinking, if it's like this, let's say white connects, and here, if white wants to save the stones, you have to extend. And if black wants to kill them, you have to play here. And then it has to be here. And now, of course, if you play f2, then we just connect like this. Seems really good for white, because black just... is it even dead? It's just dead down here. But I was thinking black can go down here. And that it would be some kind of Ko now. Like we go down here, black cannot just... Black kind of has to play here, right? Like if you do something like this, white wins the capturing race. So black has to play here. And now we just wedge, right? I don't see... I don't know, maybe we should make some exchanges first, but basically this is the Ko I saw. So let's say we, I don't know, throw in, play it like this maybe. So it's a Ko, but I guess... Oh, are they local threats? I was kind of worried that maybe... I guess they probably are. Yeah, then it makes sense to keep as a threat. I was wondering if maybe like black can connect here. Hello, Gosha Frenchie. Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyways, it seems like it's this Ko, right? So this is maybe... Let's do our first little AI check here. Could it be worth it for black to try to capture these stones? Because I feel like white cannot really... Or I guess, okay, if white has all those... Yeah, it sort of does depend on whether you can get away with this, right? Otherwise you don't really have threats. Yeah, this is a Tobi Tuesday of the PGETC variety. So when there is one of these team matches going on, I take the opportunity to spectate it. Okay, so let's check here. We've done some thinking on our own. Let's see. So yeah, kick is fine. Oops. I was thinking this move, which is also fine. So kick is fine. And then in the game, black went down. It doesn't lose too much. It's not the top move. This idea is also not the top move. So, okay, tiger mouth, a little bit better shape, I guess. Yeah, it does make sense, because k1, I mean, I could see this making a difference in the code to follow, right? But apparently it doesn't. I guess here, white doesn't really want to play this Ko. Or white could play it, I guess. So this is also fine. It's fine to play it. You can still use this Ko threat. Then some Ko threat up here. This one, interesting. So let's say black responds. Wait, why is... This is not a co-threat. Oh, hello, Alexi Design, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. This is interesting. Why is it saying we shouldn't just play this Atari? Because we don't have, like, this is not good enough as a co-threat. But then he just wants to play this kind of move. So I'm guessing this is like, could this be working towards setting up a big co-threat? Let's just play out some moves here and see. Okay, so now black wants a takedown here. So I guess that means, let's say black plays this move. I'm so confused. What is this whole sequence? It seems like there's a relationship here, like black needs to be a bit careful to not give white a big co-threat for this. But white also doesn't have to make these exchanges, right? White can just play and then have this co in store for later, I guess. Okay. So anyways, game move was not too bad either, but it seems it was possible for black to... Similar for black, not losing too much to go for that other variation. Now white made this move, which I thought... I feel like this is a little bit painful for black. Because now white fixed this cutting problem. There's no longer a cut here. And you're also threatening a ko. This one. And for sure it feels too slow to somehow fix this, right? So it feels like you'll just have to leave this. I mean, the ko is a little bit costly for white, but it's still something to be annoyed by, right? So yeah, black plays away. Push here. This seems to be setting up, if black plays elsewhere, we could Han and here. Now we see again this weakness come into play, right? If black captures one stone, we could just do it like this. So it kind of seems like black needs to just submissively respond. Then white comes back here. Okay, so even though there's no cut, still it would be very big to allow this kind of move, right? To wreck this side. So yeah, this is a big move. And that's us caught up to the game. So now, I don't know how I should do this in the best way. I think maybe I'll just like manually enter the new moves from the game. So, okay, black went here. We had white jumping out. Like extending on the left side. It's a pretty tight extension. Sometimes you say from 2 stones you can extend 3 spaces. But this is actually 2 stones on the 4th and 5th line, so it's in terms of like base, it's not quite as safe as it would be on the 3rd line. So I'm guessing if here there's a little bit too much weakness probably. So I feel like maybe this is correct, or I can agree with it. And white comes here. And now black invades the lower side. So this is an interesting choice of invasion point, because if black just takes 3-3, I'm guessing white would block this way. Like when you block this way, you kind of, like the M3 stone becomes a little bit wasted, maybe. It feels a little bit inefficient somehow. Not sure. Somehow this feels better. So with this one, if white harness this side, then you kind of force this variation. And in the game, white harness the other direction. And black came out, and here. And Hane, okay, this is the game. So it seems like black should be able to settle here, right? Of course, black could capture a stone in the corner, but then let's just say something like this first. These stones would get cut off, and you would still have to live in the corner. And this way, probably even worse, right? If black goes for the stones, I don't know. It doesn't feel like this should be the way to go, but it depends on what other options are available. So could just, let's see. So we'd like to come out this area, right? But it's hard, like if we just play here, I guess white can just cut. And it's not like we have some ladder here. Both of these are not working because we get a target. So what can we do? Like we could play here, threatening this, or this. Doesn't really seem good enough, especially since white still has this, which is annoying. What if we just connect here? How helpful is this for our shape? Let's say white connects this way. Still, it seems hard to move out, right? Like if we Hane, white can even cut. This one is... Oh, it's actually alive, but it's too painful. And this one doesn't work. So it's hard for me to find decent shape here. So in the game, black just Hane. So what do we think now? Cutting is what I would be afraid of, right? Just cut immediately. What's the plan? Just living seems... I mean, okay, if we're cutting... Let's say, okay, all of this is Santa, and I don't know which way white prefers to connect. Let's say this one. You have to live. I guess if white has to move out now or live, it's kind of nice. It's a little bonus for black that white has to worry about this group. But with this being Santa, I mean, maybe it seems like white maybe has Miai of... I don't know, white can maybe just help the right side group. I feel like it should be like here maybe. I don't know, I feel like a peep here is annoying otherwise. And we don't care so much about giving this, I feel. I don't know. So let's say like this. And white somehow helping this side. And then saying, okay, if you save this stone, now maybe I spend a move to live. I don't know how you live here, or if you even need a move to live. It sort of seems like it should be dead if black monkey jumps, right? Yeah, this is not enough space, I'm pretty sure. But I'm saying if you do this right away, you know, white can somehow come out here. But this is kind of the best I see for black just living. I don't see what else could be the plan. Sacrifice the P3 stones. Wait, how? I was just looking if something like this is possible, but I don't see... Like, because now white... Like, okay, if white would Atari this way, then yes, we cut this off. But let's say white Atari is here. Okay, then you want to extend. Ah, okay, I see, wait. But now... Ah, okay, I see. So now let's say white captures here, then we can capture this stone. But then white can connect. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so that's a problem. But otherwise, it was a really nice idea because, yeah, if white goes here, then this seems like it's definitely good enough. So, yeah, only problem is that white can connect here. That's too bad. And we don't have the time to, let's say, get this one in center. Okay. Well, white has cut in the game. So we're about to find out what black's plan was. I mean, does it get any better if you... Problem is, if you do this now, then you lose this, then you can no longer do this, right? Yeah, I don't know. For now, we're just waiting for the move. The time situation is white has 40 minutes, black has 50 minutes. So he's fine on the clock. He has time to figure this out. Should we could do another AI check here maybe. So AI says black is good. Okay. Pick up some milk is agreeing with giving the same idea that Kotago is. Oh, wait, so now somehow... Wait, what? Okay, let's start by see this idea. Then use Q5 Atari. Yeah, let's take one at a time. So, are you saying that there was something like... Yeah, okay, so if you get this, I'm guessing this is too... like this works tactically, but it's like the exchanges are too bad. So that's a very... Like, the idea is good, it just so happens that Kotago doesn't like it. But I like that. But then Kotago said, oh, we can just connect here. Because now, this is actually also our center. Like, if white tries to connect, we ladder these stones. So white has to go here, then we separate, and white dies. So that's very nice. Let's hope he sees that. Okay, he has played Atari. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard. I'm trusting Charlie to find it, even though I was totally lost here. I was like, what are you doing? But I'm guessing he maybe saw this before he played... I mean, probably he has to see this before he plays this Hana, right? Let's also check for comparison, I guess, how bad it is, like what I was going to do. Just living here. Yeah, this is like way too sad. It's no good. Oh yeah, because white even gets this sentence. Like, this group is in no danger. Yeah, so I think Charlie wouldn't play this Hana if the plan was just to live like that, right? Then you would rather, like, at least like live like this would be better than. Or something like this. So, okay, let's see. We are, no, here. Oh, he just immediately extended. Oh, that's interesting. That doesn't seem to be on Kotago's radar. It seems similar, right? Is it really much worse? Thank you to Competitive Wish for the follow. Welcome. So yeah, Katago's plan was Atari first. What's wrong with this move? So now black gets Gote. And white can still live? How was the other variation? Atari, connect, here. Is it really that it's a big difference that we get? No, what? I don't get that this is such a big difference. Yeah, we lose the 01 Atari, but it's not even the move here. You see, right? It's like it wants, like, because it seems like it's something else. Because you're supposed to go down here. So is it really just like the forcing moves on the outside are quite useful? Like it's like 7 points difference or something. In this variation, black is winning by 7 points. In this one, it seems like this situation is similar. I can't really tell how much of a difference this down here. How much of is this like, yeah, 01 Atari that we lost, and how much is that some forcing moves like p5 would be useful? It seems more likely that it's something with this first line. But it's hard to, like, Katago doesn't make up its mind if like white wants to save the stones or not, so it's kind of hard to say. Okay. So apparently that's a shame that he didn't Atari first. Seems like it was much better, but it's still good for black. And we do see this variation. Let me just check the order. Yeah, white played this Atari, of course. And here, and black just goes down. Okay. So black is up 2.5 points, let's say. So far, so good. I mean, ignoring the fact that we just sort of saw this little bump in the graph here, I would think black would be happy with this in the game. Like, ignorance is bliss about this. You would be sad if you sat at the board and you knew that you missed that like 5 points better variation, but I think he's just happy with this one. Switch back here for a moment so you can see the clocks. Yeah, the e4 ko can definitely make an appearance, right? Because it's really big for white with these stones. Well, I feel like it should be possible, right? It's still this problem about when black wins the ko, it's very painful for white to have these cutting points like c5. Like white basically loses the whole corner. But if the upside for white is saving to that group, you know, it's huge. Okay, white comes up here. That's interesting. Normally you would, when coming into an area like this, I would think first about approaching the corner. There's more, let's say there's more space to settle towards the corner. Like after c15 you have moves like c17, b17, and you can press the corner maybe more easily. But I guess in this case the idea is that this group is a little bit weak. If black plays from the corner side and white comes out, maybe this black group can come under attack. Would be my way of trying to make sense of this choice of invasion. And Charlie actually connected here, so he took the threat of this ko quite seriously. He felt this was big enough to spend a move on. And yeah, I get that it's scary, but that doesn't feel right. Yeah, I agree with pickups on it. It feels too slow. Because it's basically only doing this one thing, removing the ko. But I mean, it is possible that it was just a huge blunder for white not to immediately go for the ko, and black punished this blunder by fixing. Like, it just seems unlikely, but it's not. It's hard to know this, when you're at the board. We can check the AI and say, yeah, it was a mistake, but he might have been really worried about white starting the ko and thinking, oh, I get a chance to fix it. Amazing, let's just do it. So yeah, let's actually check right away because I'm very curious. Because I don't think this ko can be starting the ko right away seems no good. So wait, I need to juggle my windows a bit here. What actually happened? Black went down here, right? And white didn't do this, so we are here. White... Okay, so first question is, can white start a ko right away? And it seems like, if anything, white should start with this move. And I guess this is kind of asking, like, will you let me live? And if black continues to insist to kill it, maybe we're in a better position to later start a ko? I don't know. But what if you start a ko immediately? I think it's just too hard. You'll just have no threats right now. So okay, you can try to use this local threat, but even this, black doesn't care. Even you save this group and even you kill this group, it's not good enough. Because this, yeah, you just lost a whole corner. So yeah, this ko is super heavy for white. I mean, I knew it was big, but that's funny that even like killing this black group is not good enough compensation. So I think that means that, but still, look at that. Still f3 is the blue move. And e4 is not bad. Wow. So, I mean, let's say black plays here. Yeah, I think the threat is not that white is not going to start a ko immediately. I guess white is going to make some other exchanges first, but then still it has to be this ko that is the problem eventually. Because otherwise, if there was no problem with this ko, then we wouldn't see this move being blue, right? And this move being as good as it is. Thank you to Ed Helen for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So turns out e4 not so bad. It's very interesting to see. White gets an attack. And black just moves out. Ooh, PGETC is... do I even like have a command for that? I might have like an old command, so maybe it goes to the... No, it goes to the right place. Yeah, there you go. So it's a team championship between the different European countries. So tonight we have my country, Sweden, are putting up 4 players against 4 players of Switzerland. Oh, why are your stony noses sad? Are your is your team... Wait, is it you don't have a team, or your team is not doing well, or what's the situation? Let me check that. Do you have some team? I guess not. Okay. I mean, it doesn't... If you can scramble together like 4 players, I guess it would be enough to participate, but it's, that can be hard too. Even like, we have some Go players in Sweden, but it's not always easy to sort of not everyone is available for the matches, let's say, you know, and we don't always put up our strongest players. So usually the teams are like 12 players, because you need some backups when people not available to play. I see. Also not at home. Okay, let's see, where are we? Here. So, okay, black moved out, white attach here. Black comes out. Okay, so I mean, it seems like this group, I mean, black took it from this group, but it seems not in danger of dying, right? So that's good. And okay, white hits the corner like this. Resort using chess players. It's true, we do have a chess player on our... And he's playing tonight, right, isn't he? Let me find my way back to the... Yeah, he is. So, right now we're only following board 1, because it started 1 hour earlier. But we'll have 3 more boards soon, and our third board is Tigerhilarp, which is a Swedish chess GM. It's very cool to have such a strong chess player playing Go and being, you know, pretty good at it. We played a couple of times, and we're quite even. I'm just like slightly stronger than he is. So we had some very fun games. Pretend to be Swedish. I'm not sure what the rules are. I guess you probably have to have citizenship, right? But if you just, you know, fake one of those, you can come along. And I should also mention our fourth board, Mark. Apparently, he just won a tournament in Dublin, some open tournament, beating some 3 down for first place. So he seems to be in good shape also. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the other games as well. But for now, let's go back to this one. Okay. So, of course, white makes this shape. This seems very natural. You could extend here, but then you're leaving some weak points. This seems like a very nice shape to make. And okay, white, black slides here, white here. And we're caught up. So now black is a little bit surrounded. We see that like e14 is kind of helping to keep this closed in, right? It's not super easy to move out with these stones. Still, they shouldn't die. Oh, is Freda playing on Fox right now? I thought maybe, when I heard he wasn't playing tonight, I thought maybe he had some other obligation, but I see. Well, we'll have to do what we can without him. And without me, and without you. We have many strong players not playing, unfortunately. But we have Charlie. Okay, so he pushes, and white here. So black could just attack here, but then like maybe you're just running into this. What's going on with this shape? Allow this Panuki, connect back. I don't know. What else can be the plan? You could jump out here maybe. I don't know, saying if this, but this is not really going anywhere. Yeah, so again, I'm not sure what the idea is. Oh, he did jump out. Okay. We did see this. Now what? Well, last time I doubted him on the bottom. he had a good idea. So let's hope here too. He extends. Okay, I'm starting to see here. So we cut white apart. We're not so much in a rush to save our group, like white maybe doesn't have time to go after this group with all the weaknesses up here. And yeah, it seems like white has a lot to worry about. Like, let's say you save these cutting stones, even black just plays here. You're threatening a ladder, h13. Or to come through here, if you fix this. I mean, now you're starting to see some more severe threats here, right? Now we're threatening these, both this group and this group. So, okay, how is white going to deal with this? Like, we could maybe tiger, but then Atari, and seems like white is kind of falling apart. You don't really want to give up the 2 cutting stones here. Like, now black is too safe. And it's kind of maybe hard to save them now. Like, even like this, it's not clear how you connect back, I guess. Although, no, right now you could just connect because black can't push in here. Anyways, I guess this would be the idea. And this is what we see, right? No, what's happening? We don't make this one exchange fewer. White doesn't play tiger's mouth. White immediately connects here. And then black turns. I mean, maybe I should somehow... I could probably set it up so that I have like the live board showing as well, right? That would be the professional thing to do. Shall we see if I can make that happen live here? So... Here, this one. And then we can do just the board. I mean, maybe we want the clocks too, but can't fit everything. I'll just put it there. For now. So, we're still waiting. No, wait, there's been another move. Yeah, okay, we're here. I mean, I think I'm... Like, not all my sequences have been nonsense, because it seems like... Well, I made some other exchange first, but this is somehow what we expected to happen. White saving this, black taking this point. And yeah, still here, like, white could play this. Same idea still that black couldn't go down here. But now, like, black could play here. And it would be kind of a problem. So I don't know, maybe it was good for white to start with this. Let's go back here, actually. No, seems not. The good news is seems to be black is doing well, and we are rooting for black. Seems they're quite similar, no big difference. Okay, back to game. Okay, but maybe now you need the tiger mouth. In the game, white played here. Oof. That doesn't feel right. This must be a minus, right? Because if you don't have some concrete threat against the lower part, yeah, like black just plays here and it seems very painful. Yeah. What is Charlie going to do? It seems like black. It's not like black has to find an only move here. It's just a like pleasant position, right? Like you would still be a little bit worried. Like you need to be a little bit careful about this group, I guess. It's not obvious to me that this is locally 100% alive. But as long as you don't die there, you know, seems good for black. This program here is Ogatak. I'll send the link. Okay, pretty soon we should have some other game starting, but not yet. My plan was to focus mainly on one game today because I'm so bad at switching between all of them. But now with this one starting earlier, maybe we can sort of like if we start to feel like, oh, this is over, like he's leading by 30 points, then maybe we can switch our focus. But this is, you know, this is still within the realms of what a 5-down can mess up, I think, just barely. If Charlie doesn't mind me saying so. Maybe I should input other boards maybe in preparation for later. But I don't know how I will fit everything on the screen. Okay, that's a problem for later. I'll just... I have like 100 windows here, it's so confusing. Okay, board 2 is white, Nova, green, 2 down, and we have our chess player versus... I know this is now covered up by the live board, but I'm thinking like we can move this one over here or something. So you can see this. White. And sometimes these ranks on PGTC webpage are kind of out of date, so take these ranks with a small grain of salt. But they look roughly correct for the Swedish players, I think. Okay, so is this showing up nicely? Yeah, so now I'm thinking like we can do something like this to show which board we're focusing on. Just select this one. No. Okay, did anything happen? Yes, something happened. Yeah, black did play the blue move here, and we had Hane and this one. Okay. And maybe let's just turn off. Let's leave it like this. Okay. So, not much happening in the game. I feel like white at this point must be quite unhappy, right? This looks like, even if it was me at the board, I would feel like I was not doing great as white. I think it seems quite obvious that this white group is unhappy. So he may be just desperately trying to find some way to deal with it. You know, Katagoi is not saying that it should die. So it can live, but it's probably quite painful. Are the other games starting? Let's see. Yes. So should we check the... Do we have any of our players? Yes, we have Tiger. Okay, so let's switch over to Tiger's game for a little moment. Like that. So, what did they do? Tiger is playing black. And we have cross Fuseki. And large knight's enclosure. White also takes an enclosure. And 3-3. And yeah, then we're caught up. So we'll see some of these normal josekis here. So, you know, there are many different small variations on the joseki here, and I don't really know when you're supposed to play which one of them. So, you know, black can slide or push or jump, and then they can sort of revert to each other. Or white could Hane to start with. Or white could play this one. But in the game, yeah, we have this permutation and cut. And then white will Atari. And I think usually black throws in this Atari. I guess the idea here is that if you just take, white gets some sort of fully connected shape. Excuse me. But when you throw this in there, right, you don't even need to you don't come back and take, because that would probably also be too good shape for white. You actually save this stone, because you have Mii to live. Like, you could come back and live here, or if white takes this one, then you can capture this stone. So you don't actually need to worry about the corner. But in the game, Oh, sorry, let me catch up with chat. Dislikes capturing at B16. No, I'm confused. Are you saying that it's odd that... this is not the blue move here, or... B16 instead of D18? Oh, this one. Yeah, you're saying in the game, shouldn't black want this one instead? Because it seems like this is, in the AI eyes, quite similar. Yeah, this is the thing, like, I really don't know. Like, I sort of know these, like, common sequences. So when I encounter one of these in a game, like, I compare the sequences I know and I think, like, maybe that one looks okay. You know, I try to think about the direction, like, okay, white has some influence facing this way, I have a stone here, but I really don't know what I'm supposed to take into account when choosing. Like, it seems in this case, like, yeah, black could go for either one. Both are okay. White has ladder. Ah, at the end of this variation? So normally black would maybe... wait, what's the normal thing here? You played this move, right? It's a normal shape. But now white would be too happy to ladder. So black would start here. This one I haven't seen so much. White doesn't even continue locally. But if white did continue locally, you could Atari. Oh yeah, this is familiar actually. Yeah, I have seen this. Right. Yeah, okay, so you're kind of saying that you think the direction is better this way, but sort of the local result is worse, so actually that's why this is still better. But in the game, actually... okay, black didn't Atari here, but went here first. But then when white responded, then black came back here. That seems kind of strange. Like, maybe it doesn't matter, but if white connects now, then it's like we committed to just taking this one stone, right? It's like we did this and then just took one stone, which is fine. But didn't we also like to have this option? Because in the game we can't really extend here now. Well, we could, but like we gave white much, like then this is a really bad exchange, right? To give this Pinocchio. So this is a little bit minus. So yeah, okay, this is what happened. Black captured, white got the ladder. And black shoulder hits. So let me maybe turn off the yeah, but of course we can see that this is breaking the ladder. If white plays some... yeah, let's maybe practice our reading here. Let's see white plays this one. Does this break the ladder or not? Let's check. I think I know the answer. Just giving a second for anyone reading it by themselves. I think this is not breaking the ladder. But then, you know, we would add some other move, and I guess after this one, it would be breaking the ladder. Yes. So this is the kind of thing black is going for. Could also check this one. This is... wait, this one is interesting. I think this ladder is already broken, but it's like it's a little bit tricky. Okay, this is not what we have in the game, but let's just check this. Play out this ladder. It's like it's almost working, but it's not quite. Oops. Because now, like, okay, Atari, this direction obviously not working. I have to do this one. Then this is not working. Get this Atari. And yeah, you're not going anywhere here. So it's just not working. So yeah, white could have played here, I guess. But in the game, white chose this one, black had to respond once, and then white got sent to play one of these nice moves. This is very AI style, let's say. It feels like this is usually the kind of move, the kind of spacing that AI likes. Let's check. But it's no big difference here. Yeah, it likes all of these moves. And it even likes this one, which is not like direct ladder maker, but I guess it's sort of making this fight good enough for white. What's the idea here? It's quite complicated, a black and cut here. Anyways, we have this move. How much does it not like? So let's see. So this is about even, and if you just capture, it's -1 point, looks like. So yeah, it thinks it is slow, but you know, by an amount where I would say like a Q player shouldn't worry about it, right? Like the Q player should probably be better at this, and probably even at my level, it might be easier to correctly follow up the direct capture. Like, even if this says this is 1 point better, like this may be relying on playing very accurately when later black starts making trouble here, right? So there's also value in just not having to worry about it for a human. So I would say capturing is a fine move. But we can see the trend that it's very common in these kind of positions that AI says. It kind of used to be that some sort of professional wisdom was that like you should usually capture to get rid of Aji. Like the fact that you're no longer short on liberties with these stones and there's fewer co-threats, like all of that adds up to be worth more than the extra reach of this move. But it seems like more often than not, AI says that you can reach for more. But also the fact that the differences are so small means that you're sort of free to choose the one that you like feel like in the moment, you know. Just today I feel like being adventurous, you know. I somehow like how this move is working together with the rest of my stones. I can play this one, and if I just want to be simple, I can just capture. Or like this. I think this one is. I feel like I would maybe play here. This feels easier to me than this one. Because here you still have these like coming in like between the stones. This looks like such a much easier shape to my eyes. No new moves yet. So maybe we should check some other game. Okay, a lot happened in the Charlie game, so let's maybe recap that first. If I like forget to switch over something and the information on screen is confusing, please let me know, because it's a lot to track now. So we left the situation here. We weren't quite sure how white was going to live with this group. So let's see how he does it. Place the tiger mouth. So now you're threatening, let's say B9. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe even like just push here is working. I don't know. So there's some clear threat here. Black just protects. Then white jumps. Okay, so now we see that, yeah, this group is not going to die. Get some squeezing type moves. I guess this is nice to get just so that black doesn't get to Atari out here, right? Black still has this other Atari later, but it's not as bad for our shape. It would be nice for white if you could squeeze like this, but unfortunately you can't. Black will just play this. And then he just lives like this. Okay. So it's very clearly alive, right? We can see a clear eye on B12 and on A13. There's no way to prevent this from becoming an eye. So yes, 100% alive. It's maybe a little bit disappointing to live in this way. Like you would prefer if you could play some move like this, but then I guess you just die. So let's see for a moment if Katago agrees here. It seems like it's a little bit desperate because it's so sad for white. It wants to play here. Don't you just die? I guess there might be a problem for black on the other side. Like now we enter into a capturing race. So maybe it's still white dies, I don't know, but... or it's Seki or something. But that's why it should be better for black to just live. Okay, but that means that, okay, white can go... this is something white should welcome, right? Like white should welcome this capturing race if white is behind. So, yeah, that makes sense. But, you know, it's also not... this is going for the long game, like you can maybe still catch this up. Black lives. Yeah, maybe I should turn off the AI again. I get too distracted by it. So, black plays some endgame against this corner, and white doesn't protect the corner, which is also, yeah, if you're behind, like you can't really afford to play a slow move like this. It's interesting, right? Black just played, this seems like pretty pure endgame that black plays now. This is not about attacking this white group or about keeping this white group dead, I don't think. I feel like this is just taking a big move on points. Which is fine to do when you're ahead by this much, right? Like it seems like a fine strategy. But then white takes the initiative out here. I guess there is a chance white could come under attack, but black would need to get like this cut in and the corner, right? Okay, so black moves out. White jumps up to the fourth line. This is always nice if you can try to take points like this, but in the game black immediately comes here. White turns. Does E1 mean anything for these stones? I think my thinking was that they were already completely dead, but I mean they're definitely dead now. So if there was, it's possible that there was still some Adi there, right? Let me... so if we go like here... Oh, sorry, I got the order a bit messed up, right? Like, the situation was like this. It wasn't black who took center to play an endgame move. White played here. And this is actually threatening to play f2 next, right? And that seems likely that this would actually live, right? So if black plays elsewhere now, and white plays here, and now you play here, you know, then white just, like, probably just lives. And even without giving f1, like maybe this is just alive. Because remember, white potentially has, like if you start doing some try to kill, like white can maybe use this center. So it seems kind of hard to kill this group. So yeah, for sure, then it makes sense that when white played here, black responds by making sure that f2 is not white center. So it was not an endgame move, it was just me being confused there. It's also a big endgame move, but there's a clear reason to play it at this timing. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Stormpapa. So, okay, black comes out, white kicks. And now, yeah, okay, black gets this center. This is very nice, right? Because now white cannot go out here. You lose the stones and you still have to come back and live. You just sort of have to roll up into a ball here. You can't even play this one, because now you're just dead. So I guess you kind of have to play here. And I don't know what's the right endgame, like maybe you just pull back. If you play this one, there's some... White could maybe try to make trouble like this, since you're behind, since white is behind. Indeed, this is what you see. I'm sorry about, like, the other board should maybe be the live board, but now I'm going back on it, so it gets a bit confusing. Okay. I'm just using it to catch up here when we're behind. Okay, we're caught up. So yeah, this was a nice profit for black, right? We're forcing white to live with only 2 points. Later we can still play c14, so we have a pretty nice corner. And yeah, even this upper side is not looking bad. White lives with this group. And black turns. Oh, this is a weird shape. Locally you would think about coming out like this, but it's sad to make an empty triangle. So I guess this is less about coming out and more about attacking black. Like it's more like preventing black from connecting, right? So it makes sense. Like black needs to take care of this group, and it doesn't really have a way to make much eye space here. Like this is not... it's not even one eye, right? If it's like this, it's not even clear that black could create one eye. But maybe we have something like this, I don't know. Anyways, it seems like a fine idea for white to try to attack this group. In the game, black does play here. So it's looking good for Sweden on board 1. Let's jump over to... I guess we can jump back to the... not much happened in the Tiger game. Let's see if one of the other games is going. So do we have Luva? Yes. Let's check Luva's game. So this is our board 2. Let's download the SGF. All right. White could get in trouble. Wait, which game are you talking about? Yeah, this game? I mean, I would say here that white is like, yeah, happily inviting the complications, but it's... yeah, it's true. But it's, I mean, Charlie is black, right? So we, when I, or... It looks good for black, right? Black is also weak though, is the thing, right? Okay, we'll get back to that. Something's happening in this game, but let's quickly check Luva first. So you have the live board there, and let's check from the beginning. Luva is playing white. One space pincer. Take the corner. Nice and easy Joseki. Black attaches to the 3-4 stone. This is another one of those cases. You have some choices. I usually just play c4, I think, right? Like you could play like here and you sort of revert to like a 3-3 Joseki. Or like this, but it feels like Hane should be sort of the strongest. Let's check this. Yes, it seems to be true in this case. Hane is correct. And Black Hanes this direction. This is also another common question, like how much does it matter now which side you Hane, like, because here you really get to choose which side you want. And in a case like this, I would be thinking about, okay, if I play this way, we could have some result like this, and white is kind of building the right side. We can extend on the left. White could also just connect here, and then you're sort of not helping black to connect. But this way, yeah, which one would we prefer? I feel like I would take this one, because I would be wanting to prevent white from making something here and feel, oh, later I have m3. So my vote would go to e3 just to pick something, but I'm sure there's not a big difference. Okay, Yaka votes c5. Anyone else wants to throw their vote in? I mean, we know in the game, I think I saw that black played c5, right? So we also have, what's the name of the player? Flavian's vote, c5. Okay, everyone votes c5. I'm the weird one going e3. Yes! No, okay, yeah, there's no big difference, but e3 is slightly better in Katago's estimates. And what's the expected sequence? Okay, it does want white to Atari. And then just leave it here. Okay, this would not be my plan. I would just extend. And this way, it likes the Atari. This is interesting. I guess if you connect, yeah, black doesn't even need to choose immediately. Like, it's very clear that these are just like light exchanges, you can leave them. So Atari is kind of good to try to make it heavy. And still like black and Tanuki, like even though he played this, but now... Okay, black plays here. But you see, this is kind of why I wanted the other side. Like, I would be a bit uncomfortable here, giving white this side. This is so weird that black wants to make this and then make a 2-space extension. Like, it seems much better to just make the 2-space extension to me then. Because then you have some more space to go in here, it seems. But okay, white can come up. Anyways, game variation was, yeah, this Atari, and black just push. So I guess it's quite similar in idea to this, which was the blue move. Then push again. Oh, Hane. So Katago says Hane is a little bit overplay maybe. You should be happy just taking 4th line points. Makes sense. So black immediately cuts. White goes up. Goes down. Okay, this is another interesting point. Like this, you had this forcing move on g2. And in general, it's a good idea to just go down, because now it's really forcing, because you're threatening not just the 1 stone, but the 2 stones. The follow-up is not to push here, but to Atari. So usually this is the better shape. But in this case, Katago is saying, oh, you should actually play here. And I'm guessing the point is that this is still Senta. I'm guessing that it will say that white will still want to save this 1 stone. Because if you try to play from the outside now, and black takes this, black is basically alive already. Like black can live or come out here. And white actually needs a move in the corner. So white could play here first, but then eventually, either you're just going to die in the corner, or you're going to have to add a move. I'm guessing in this variation the point is that white has a center here. I see. Anyways, the point stands that white is weak in the corner, so you can actually get away with pushing here. So I thought that was interesting. But in the game, black plays this, which is much more natural. Was it right if I wanted to extend? You're talking about the E3 thing. I guessed the right direction, but definitely not the right idea. As expected. I mean, you can't read the mind of Kotago. Okay, then what happened? Let's turn off. I'm getting too distracted by the scores. Let's turn them off again. So black goes here. This is the kind of point I always like. This was one of the reasons I wanted E3 as well. Like, I love to aim for a point like this. You're threatening 04, and the natural way to fix it for white is to bump. Like this is one way to fix it, but then black gets a very nice shape. In the game, white just comes out, but then... What? Then normally you would just Hane here, and it's kind of annoying shape, right? But now I'm not sure here. Is this actually possible? I think this is possible. So it's like annoying if black can cut here, basically, and you have to come out like this. But in the game, black played here. Okay. And we are white. Luva is white. It's good to see, because I'm skeptical of this move. I feel like this is going very all in on attacking these stones. I mean, maybe it's possible. It seems like with the weakness of these three, this feels like a bit of an overplay to me. Also, you know, it's not like white is dying, because like this is like you can always come back and live in the corner. So it's not much of an attack. So what happened in the game? In the game, white cuts here. Yeah, this is annoying, right? And now black gives up 2 stones. Yeah, okay. So black really didn't get an attack. Black got some kind of profit down here. Like you get to connect these stones out, which made M3 a bit stronger. But still there's like weakness like K3, so you didn't fix this side. So I feel like this should be a bad result for black, but let's check in a moment. On what server am I playing? Well, I'm not playing, but the game is happening on the Go Panda server. And then the interface I'm using is called Ogatak. R5 cut seems like focusing on the wrong thing. So you would, instead of cutting, you would just like do this immediately. I feel like this would also be a good choice. This could be very strong. Like it's a little bit more risky maybe. This is a very simple choice, just to... Black is making some motion in the direction of attacking these stones, trying to attack them, so we just immediately get these stones, and now we're super alive. Don't have to worry about it. And black still has like several weaknesses to worry about, because we actually, if black fixes the lower side, let's just add that dummy move, like we have a cutting point here that seems kind of annoying. I feel like this is kind of what happened in the game. Let me just maybe get the updated SGF, so I don't have to enter the moves manually. Swoosh. So black did add a move. Of course, I played this one, but yeah, this one looks like a better shape. Now black has a nice shape on the lower side. It's quite safe. Some points. But now white got the cut here. And let's step back for a moment and just make sure that, because my conjecture is that this is a bad move. Let's see if AI agrees. So right now it's, let's say, black +1, and now white +2. So it's like minus 3 points. It's not super bad, but okay, this is you can't just look at the score, because this is assuming black just make the exchange and come back. Now if you commit to it, okay, now it's even worse. And pick up some milk was totally right. This is the blue move. But I'm guessing this is also totally fine. It gives back some of the advantage, but yeah, I'm not gonna fault Lua for this one. I like this idea. It seems so simple. So okay. Excuse me. So black takes this, white cuts. And now we see that Kotago is even saying, don't bother saving these stones. It's just some 5 stones, you know. There's more important things on the board right now. But I think as a human, it's very natural to want to save these. I also feel like I would like to, you know, make use of the fact that I have this Atari here, right? So I can move out with these stones, and by moving out with them, I'm also hoping to attack Q8. So I totally understand that. Wait, white didn't cut immediately. Sorry, I got the order wrong. But later white cuts, and black tried to save the stones. Okay, but white first played this. And then cuts. Okay, so it's just one exchange on the left side. So black first takes care of these 2 stones. Then white extends. And yeah, I'm guessing, especially now after white extends, Kotago would say that just leave them, right? Just play some other big points. And if white wants to spend another move to take them, that would be too slow. So that actually makes a lot of sense. Hello, Anton. What do you think of my professional setup? It's better than usual, but still bad. Okay, so what happened? In the game, black jumps out, which, yeah, I think makes sense as a human. And black uses the Atari. Okay, so this is really black committing to wanting to save the stones. And then jump out. Okay, not jump out. Play this move. So it's kind of heavy, right? But we see that black really wants to stay connected. If you play some shape like this, then you still probably die, right? So this is black saying, I want to keep my stones. White attaches out. Now this is annoying because, again, let me turn off the analysis. This is a really nice leading attack for white, it feels like. Black wants to save these stones, but as you're moving out, white is getting forcing moves against the lower side. And if you like respond to everything, then you might just outright die here somehow. So it's starting to feel like black maybe has to give something up. Well, thank you to Alio Catman for the follow. Welcome. So what's the game? Black just jumps out. So this is already again giving something. Yes, it's the clinches indeed. It's the other Anton, who is also not playing today for some reason. We have lots of players not playing today. Okay, I'm just pointing out that white has this honey here now, but maybe black can force here so it doesn't work. I don't know. So what would be the follow-up? Like here? Doesn't seem right. Oh, but I guess this way you could capture something. So this is really showing like, okay, if we say that now it's not really possible for black to save these 2 stones, then this really shows that the original P2 move here was an overplay, right? Because if we go back, like, what was the point of this move? Like, we take away the base, and I think this kind of move can be good if we get an attack. But the problem is that in this case, not only did we not get an attack because white just lived, but later we didn't even get this territorial profit of connecting back the stones, because white can just like kill them again like this. So I think white is quite happy here. Got the guy saying up by 12, and it is recommending this move. So what's the variation here if this one? Oh, you still just win this race because you get to jump like this. Seems a little bit complicated. With moves like this. Okay. Anyways, even this one is good enough. Good enough for white. You could just take this profit immediately, even if you wanted to, I think. It's not the biggest, but it's like big enough. Okay, should we check out maybe Mark's game? If it's started? I mean, it should be started. So, what do we see? Do we see Mark 3 here? Here. And we will download. And I will switch to Mark here. So the only bad thing about the setup is that I need to do like 10 clicks to switch ports. Yeah, so right now I think we're doing well on boards 1 and 2 is what I'm aware of. I didn't see the Tiger board how we were doing. But I mean, already doing well on 2 boards is a good sign. We only need 3-1, right, to win the match. Okay, so now we're just taking a look at our 4th board, and apparently on PandaNet, Black here, who was 1 down on PG, the website has a 5 down ranking on PandaNet. So Black may be underrated, I don't know. Let's see how the game is going. Mark is playing white. And as I mentioned before, Mark just won a tournament in Dublin, so he's coming in with high self-confidence, I hope. Okay. I'm just going quickly here so we can get caught up to the live situation. Don't have time to look at everything in detail. And that's also a way of looking at it. He may be exhausted from the tournament. I don't know how recently it was. Was it? Yeah, I'm guessing it was just this weekend, right? So, yeah, still fresh. Okay, let's maybe pause here, like out of the opening. So what do we think? White has a really nice upper left corner and the entire left side. Looks good. But black also has very nice areas. So here, like, there's not much to say in terms of like weak and strong groups. We would just have to like count. And ain't nobody got time for that. So let's just check the AI. And it seems to be very even. Okay, so they played a very even opening. And then white makes an invasion. It looks like a reasonable invasion point. There's like enough space here that this could probably be okay. It's a little bit, can come under pressure, but the fact that you have a connection now on S9 should make it okay. So P12 usually prevents, let's actually like go through these kind of things. So if there is something like a connection here that white plays this stone, can allow black to capture it, but then you come through, and normally black doesn't have time to cut here because now you just die on the side. But in this kind of shape, if you want to prevent the connection, you don't have to play a move like this or something. You can play a move like this, and then if white plays here, you can Hane this side, and now when you cut here, it's sent to capture 2 stones. So even if white throws this Atari in, white still has to come back and save, and then you can live here. So now black actually successfully cut white apart. So this is a very good sort of technique to know about. When white is threatening connection under a jump, you can play this move, which both prevents the connection and, you know, is useful for preventing white from moving out as well. Like, it's not only doing one thing. So black played here, and okay, white is now just trying to make shape locally. Of course, white still has the, like, you could still play here just like this to get some eye shape, but it's kind of painful. So you would rather try some other way to live first. Okay, but then white comes here. And this. Oh, so what are we going to see here? I guess now white is saying that, okay, it's enough for me to get this forcing move and then live? Is that correct? We're almost caught up to the game. Let's see. So white connects here. Okay, black immediately goes... So black could just live now, but black plays this one first. I'm guessing if black lives that white had some plan for this scenario. Like maybe exchange this, and let's just say like this is sent... I guess this is alive. Right? It's like 4. So maybe you don't need to make all those exchanges, but some basic idea like this. So black is going for this Hane. Yeah, this feels a little bit scary. Let's see what happens. This is the game. Let's think for a moment to ourselves first and then check the AI. But the problem now is that white doesn't have the time right now to go after a lower group. Like, you can't play here, you just die. You can't go here, you just die. So you kind of need to play here, basically. And then slight problem, because now... Okay, now if black added a move here, then I guess we just kill this, right? We're in time here to kill this. We could maybe even, like, there's some ko here, but like we could play this one to avoid the ko. So black is going to live. Let's say like this. And now, what if white Atari here? You already have one eye on the side, so if black wants to kill, you have to play here. Then white connect. And I'm just doing this because now there's some, like you can clamp, but I guess clamp doesn't really help. Is the problem. Like, you have at least this problem here to go for, but black just connects. Okay, so it seems dead. It seemed like a problem. So white did connect in the game. Let's now check the AI. It is dead. It's a problem. Yeah. Is there some good way to use this Aji then? Like, we will get some result like this. And like, we have this Santa. You know, we have some good code threads there. And this Atari is not going anywhere. And as we saw, this is not really doing anything. There's not enough going on in the corner. Like, this cut is nothing. So I don't really see a way here. Like, black is so strong around. You could start like trying to, like, normally you would want to start something in the region, right? To try to make use of the forcing moves. So like, you just start some nonsense and then later. But I don't really see how any move here is helpful like this. Like, we have maybe a peep here. Like, we imagine that in this variation, this peep is kind of forcing. But even that is dubious. Okay. So, what's the game? Ah, white used this kind of forcing move. So this is also, what is this doing? Like, what's the concrete threat here? I see one threat, which is to Atari this way, but I'm not sure this is actually would be going anywhere, so probably that's not the idea. So it could just be that it would be very big to get this Atari, you know. In any case, black did respond. It's okay, white got something out of it, you know. It doesn't really seem like enough, but okay, you're only 11, 12 points behind. Definitely possible to catch up. And yeah, white got center, so that's nice. Like, white got center to do some other things. White is also up on the clock. He's been playing quickly. That's maybe not a good thing. Like, really, but it's good that I have plenty of time on the clock. Okay, let's go back to the first board. I guess a lot of things will have happened there by now. So 20 clicks incoming while I switch the board, so we need to switch here. And I need to save the SGF. And open the SGF. And then I need to change this. And then we need to get back to where we were. So we left the game in this position, basically. White had just started kind of an attack on this black group. And white is behind by quite a lot. Let's just check here. You know, white is behind like 30 points. So white really needs something to happen. So this kind of move makes sense. Try to make trouble. So some compromise here. I feel like in this kind of exchange, maybe white made back a few points, because now you sort of ruined this black area. And black didn't get much profit. So is it a little bit closer now? Made back maybe 5 points or so. It's a start. Atari, okay, now black is starting to look at... Previously white didn't respond down here. So it's possible that this whole group could counterattack. You know, d6 is a false eye. So if black cuts here, maybe it's hard to live, you know. This looks not quite living. So what does this mean? What did white do in the game? Yeah, white added a move in the game. So this makes a lot of sense. Black extends here and white just adds a move, keeps the corner territory, keeps this group alive. And then black has the time to play out here. So with extending on J10 now, black is also looking at, like, if white plays on the right side, then black could go after this group here. So this is what happens. So this is a nice way to profit. It looks difficult to save, right? We have a kind of co-ish shape. I could just cut immediately, start a co. The co doesn't really cost much for black, but do you have any threats? There is an A10 threat. There is maybe some, I don't know, O15 threat. It's a little bit crude, but you know, it's something. Or you could even attach here first, maybe get some extra threat. Probably some threats on the right side. If you don't start a co, like, you can connect here and then go for, let's say, this Atari or this peep. But that's doesn't seem as fun. So what happens? Oh, he immediately Ataris this way. Okay. Okay, what did Kotiko think here? That seems like it was the right choice. How bad is my move? It's a few points minus. I guess it's a very sad shape to cut with, you know. This move is like totally useless if you don't win the co. Whereas this one, you know, it's doing something. So it makes sense to cut like this. To not be as, like, we don't need to kill all these stones, right? Like, black is ahead. Okay, white takes the ko. Now we should find a threat. And, oh, black does use this threat. So I was wondering before, like, could it be worth it to make this threat? Because then we have this threat, and then next... Oh, but maybe we don't dare Tanuki now. I don't know. But next up, I'm thinking we have this threat too. And then, like, even... I mean, we'll have even more, right? This is also a threat. And this way we'll have this threat. So this seems like it's giving a lot more threats. But it is kind of giving up some points, and like it would be annoying if white plays here now as a threat. Like, I don't know what will happen. I guess this is not a real threat actually, like, because you can probably just live here. Okay, back to reality. Black played this one. Take the ko, white connects. Yeah, this would be very big for black to capture. So I mean, did white have any... Like, you try something and black just says, haha. Does white have any threats? Ah, M2. Okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways, white did connect. And now, okay, black connects. Black doesn't even want to fight the ko. Just... I guess black is saying, if you connect here, I will be happy to just, like, get these stones. So white gets these, says either I can connect home or I can run out. Black cuts, so white runs out. Okay, so now this is basically alive, right? We could live with another move here. Do we need another move, or can we maybe move out first, right? Okay, we just live. Like here, it could be an idea, if you're scared of black making some points here, could be that this is a better way to live, but like you're not getting far. So both seem kind of possible. Okay, just live. I mean, this is also making some points, which is nice. So now black got some thickness here, so you can use this to try to attack this group. Ah. It's kind of counterintuitive. I would think only about, you know, this kind of move. But this is saying that, oh, I can actually connect underneath like this. So it makes some sense when you see it. Black tries to prevent this kind of connection. Yeah, that looks like a good move. now what are we doing with these white stones? It's not really possible to save them, I don't think. I think we like need to... Okay, I feel like maybe we just need to connect there and give them, but okay, white is trying this. But then there's so much weakness here, right, when we push. Okay, so white pushes here. There's so much ignoring each other's move here. Like normally you would think that this is Santa, you would think that this is Santa, but they just ignore each other. White comes through here. We don't want to allow it to connect, so for sure we'll cut here, right? This is also setting up... Now this group is no longer alive. Like if white continues on the right, we would kill this group. So white actually, this is a gote cut. But black actually comes back to... White thought it was worth it to cut because black needed to save the upper group, possibly. Like if black plays, let's say here, maybe there's trouble up here. So black chose to spend a move like this. Hana, Tari. Is it still not completely alive here? It can live, right? Like now if white saves this, like we could Atari and make a second eye. Is that what will happen? It seems like, yeah, okay, black doesn't need to just live if this group has few enough liberties. Yeah, so now black chose to play here. Well, I guess the game ended, so we need to catch up quickly here. White pokes out this eye. And this is not quite where it ended. Let's just replay the final moves on this board then. So it seems like white just dies on the side here, and that's enough to resign. So it's a capturing race, but it's like, what's the margin of this capturing race? So can we... Let's pull this over actually, because I want to check it. Whee! Okay. So white resigns here. So then what you would have to read is... It's 1 eye versus no eye. So it's a bad start. Would it make sense to play this move to gain a liberty? I don't know. It seems like you have to play this eventually anyways, right? I'm thinking if we don't play it, I mean, black is going to throw in here. But okay, let's maybe like read some sort of best case scenario where black doesn't even throw in. So like here, 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 here. And we see that it's like, yeah, it's not close. Some liberties margin. Black wouldn't need to respond now. Okay, so then the final situation is, yeah, white is losing by a lot. Okay, win on the first board, great. It seems like Charlie was able to keep control there after... Actually, already, yeah, this was the... Here was already a little bit good for black, but it's not so big margin, right? It's only slightly good for black here. And... but I don't think it was ever swung in white's favor after that. So, well played, Charlie. Then we can go to maybe our second board, Luva. Okay. Board 2. Oh, and we should maybe mark somehow. How should I mark? I don't know, just do it like that. So 1 point for us. And maybe some of the other game already finished as well, but I can't keep up with everything. So we'll just mark them as we encounter them, you know. But this game was also looking good for us when we left it. Or looking good for Luva. Ooh, wow, okay. So in this position, this is where we left it. I was a little bit scared to play L3 because I thought for a moment black could play here. But this is actually good for white, so it seems like Luva saw this. And black also didn't try in 3, but allowed white to get this. So that's, oof. Not only did black lose the 2 stones, but like that's pretty big way to lose it. Like you even lost M3. So again, going back to like you approach here with the hope of harassing this group with P2, and then you do it, but then later all of these 3 stones die. So it's very sad. But yeah, we see the outside. It's not game over for black because the outside is quite nice. White is getting attacked with these 3 stones, and black is building something nice in the upper right quadrant. So let's just go along here. White peeped and black ignored. That is very interesting. So now white cuts, and the question is, did black read this out properly? Because this could be like game over on the spot, but let's see. So there is this weakness, of course. Okay, now black could simply, when white harness like this, which I guess makes sense, if white tries this hana, like, yeah, then black has the option to just capture 1 stone like this. This is another one of those really common messages to know, that it's an option to capture 1 stone in this way. But it's kind of painful because you give up Punuki, so you would prefer maybe to come back here or something. What happened in the game? Oh, Atari like this. I mean, this is very similar because now white could just capture like this, but I guess white doesn't. So now I'm confused. If you wanted this stone, like if you play here, you must be okay with like this result. But I guess, oh, I guess here you get sent whereas in my result, it's kind of like you had to add a move at k7 in the end. So I see why this could be better. But still, you know, you would accept this kind of result where you get Gotha. Anyways, white didn't even want to allow this. White connected here. Super aggressive. And black Hana out. Oof, I mean, I sort of... What's happening here now? There's like this. So what's the idea when white Tatar is here? What did they do in the game? White did Atari here, black did connect, white did play here. Okay, so we did see this. And then black push here. So the idea is to give these 3 stones, but connect these ones. Because now, I mean, white cannot, I guess white cannot cut here. But it's a little bit confusing. I mean, still, you could just, you know, you could just kill these stones at this point, I guess. So confusing shape. Or, you know, exchange this. Then... Then you have some extra liberties, so you can have time to do this. I don't know. But in any case, white didn't cut. White just captured like this. And this gives black the chance to do something here now. Like, I think, like, if you allow white to cut now... I don't know, it's maybe not the most important thing on the board, but this, I think this is still sort of unsettled, right? Seems like you would have to add a move. So how's the, let's just check like here when the dust settled. It's still good for white, but black caught up a little bit. You do need a move here still to fix it, like if you play elsewhere. Let's see what Katko says. You don't, because if you start with a cut, like you can maybe, you know, handle it. Or even just kill these stones, it looks like maybe. This is the one I was confused about. Why is this? I guess it is just like this. I mean, I read this, but then somehow I thought like white had some liberties here, but really there's like no liberties. Okay. So yeah, the point is, white doesn't start with a cut if you play elsewhere. White start with this move. If black goes out, now you could cut and just kill the stones or go for more. And if black connects, then maybe we surround here and black is in some trouble. It's like there's a problem here, so it wants to prepare with some other forcing move. Okay. Well, maybe we'll leave them there and jump to the next board, because there's other things going on. Should we check Mark? Because Mark was behind before. Let's see what happened while we was gone. Okay, so when we left it, Mark had died here, which is not ideal. So white is behind. What was it, like 10 points or so? I think it was, yeah, around 10 points. Wow. This is a very interesting shape. So white is saying, oh, you should play here, so I get to make my points on the left. Black is saying, I want to ruin your points on the left, but then white gets to ruin these points. What is the AI opinion on this trade? So right now, black blocking is plus 12 points. It's actually not making a big difference, so I guess it's kind of even trade, mutual destruction. It's okay for both. But I would say probably welcomed by the player who is behind by 12 points, right? To have sort of more splitting going on. For instance, this black group could die. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So yeah, already it's kind of coming under attack here. Like this H11 move is Mark immediately sort of smelling blood and going for it. I will say from my experience playing Mark, like one of the things that has happened to me a couple of times is that I underestimate the weakness of one of my groups. And because I am like, let's say like 2 stones stronger than him, so I expect to like, oh, I'll just leave this weak group here, I'm sure it's fine, we'll be fine. But then sometimes you just like die, you know. So I think he can be pretty good at like just going for the kill when he needs to. In this case, it looks like black is managing, right? This is not going to die on a big scale because black has too many ways to come out, unfortunately. But okay, white is maybe now getting some profit in terms of wrecking the lower side. I do have the colors right. Yeah, yes, Mark is white. Oof. Okay, yeah, so this is quite painful for black to have to play a move like this, I think. Two stones make a lot of difference if one is 8Q and the other is 10Q. When one is 7 down and the other is 5 down, that difference is not as big. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, 2 stones is 2 stones, right? Like, but it depends what you translate it into. So in terms of, let's say, I don't know, like what you could say is that like it takes longer to improve from 5 down to 7 down. So it represents a bigger knowledge gap. And I would say it also represents a higher win rate. So like the higher the rank, because the players make less mistakes on average, there's sort of less chance of a big reversal. Like, you know, when the top human pros are up by like 2 points, they can be like, oh, this is a comfortable game, I'm up by 2 points. But if I'm up by 2 points, it's like anything can happen. So generally, as you go higher, like having like a 1 or 2 stone rank difference is actually more of a difference in that respect. So that was like 2 ways of looking at it. But there's probably like other ways of looking at like what do we mean but like the difference being big. But yeah, I would actually say that the difference between like 5 down and 7 down is bigger in most respects than the difference between 8Q and 10Q if you start looking at win percentage and knowledge difference and so on. Can someone come up with a measure where it's the other way around? Can't come up with one off the top of my head right now. Let's quickly check here. Is he making a bit of a comeback? Because I feel like this is a local success for whites to split like this. I feel happy, but it seems like it's still easy game for black, unfortunately, in the eyes of Katago. On this shape, it's kind of sad to make this empty triangle, right? But it does mean, okay, you get Atari here and capture. It's annoying that black could still connect with H2. But white may get a chance to just Han a G2 later, so then that's one way we could prevent the connection. Actually, now it's white that's coming under attack here. And black could even J5, right? Maybe not right now, but since white left this, there's a chance you don't even get one eye here. So white gets to connect back. Okay, but black has J5 in store here. Like J5 and then later Johanna, and you actually kept the points. So black's still doing well. Here black is threatening in e15, which would ruin some points, but I guess it's not going so far, right? It's only going like this. So it makes sense for white to nuke this. Black does attach. Okay, yeah, it's similar. And this is where my SGF ends. Let's copy the latest one. Sorry if that, like every time I save a file I get that doom sound. I don't know if that's caught on stream, but sorry if so. I should maybe just like turn off my audio because I actually don't have any stone sounds or anything right now, right? Swoosh. Back to... where were we? We were here. So... just some like endgame happening now. Okay, black, what is... okay, this move is kind of just connecting up here. But still you lose these stones. Wait, well, is this move really doing something? Like, shouldn't... if black plays something, maybe you should just connect here? Like, I'm not sure I see the follow-up. Or is... oh, there's some way to... okay, yeah, I see in the game too, there happens something in the corner. Oh, that's bad news for us. Okay, so white ignored, but then black could play this Hana. Okay, this is what I didn't see, and also maybe Mark didn't see. Because now you have this cut here. Like, you would like to, let's say, kill this group, but I don't think there's a way to handle this, unfortunately. You could play this Ko. So I guess in the game white had to admit defeat, and now black is living in the corner. This is very, very sad times. I would say this is maybe game over. Unless like there's some weakness in the center, like it's too late to make up this big of a point deficit, probably. Okay. It's unfortunate, but it's... yeah. It's hard to come back from you know, death like this. So I'm sure he like tried his best here to create complications, and it looked to me, it looked like it was something on its way to happen down here, but it's like black defended well and it didn't really work out. So what's the game we haven't looked at in a while? Tigre's game. So far we think we're... oh, we did already win the first board. I think we're doing well on the second board. We're not doing well on the fourth board. So that means, yeah, we really would like to win the third board, right? To get the 3-1. So again, fast forwarding back to where we left the game, which was actually already here. We didn't look at this game in a long time. So white made this interesting ladder maker move. Is that how you call it? Keep this stone dead, and this is where we left it. This is an unusual shape. You know, more common would be just this, but I'm guessing black really wants to prevent white from extending from this influence. Like this way white still gets some pretty nice area. So yeah, it makes sense actually. It's just not a locally common shape, but it makes a lot of sense as a move. White approaches here. Just extends as response to the attach. It's kind of unusual. But this kind of shape does come up. Seems reasonable. This kind of peep, usually the meaning is something like, if you don't just connect, like if white just connects, it's like a little bit submissive and you feel like maybe you accomplish something as black. Like, let's say just maybe later you connect like this. I don't know. Is that even a connection? I guess it is. Or, you know, I don't know, it does something later. But if white tries to be somehow more efficient, then it can be annoying that you give some... Well, in this case, it doesn't really work, does it? Well, this way you would still give this kind of move, right? But to show my point more clearly, let's say white plays here. Then when you Hane, white would like to play here, but then in this case, this will die. So I think this is usually like the basic idea that white is incentivized to play the solid shape, not to allow something like this to happen. So this is what happens in the game. Okay, and black does come from this side. And we see now, yeah, we are immediately using the stone because a follow-up would be h2. It would take away all the eyes from white and even make a bit of a base for the k3 group. White pincers, black here. Which side are we again? Tiger is black. So, okay, white kick, stand here. So now black has many things to juggle at once here. He's deciding for now that I don't need to run this stone out, I can use my forcing move over here. Which is, you know, quite centered, so we don't need to worry that white is going to play k4 right now, right? White is going to respond. But then he even wants the corner. So this is big, but seems like this will likely end in Gote, right? White is going to get a chance to play k4. So I don't quite like that part of the plan. I wonder if it wasn't possible to... Like, let's say we could get this move in center, I don't know, to have a little bit stronger shape here. And then... I guess the question is, can we even come out here? It's not entirely clear that we do have a shape to move out with. But, you know, we should be able to make something. Like, even if it's just like this, you know, it's good enough. Yes, I would kind of like to move out here. Let's see the AI opinion. It wants to move out. What's the plan if Hane? Maybe use some forcing move. Then here, if white cuts, then we can leave it. That's surprising. So it's going a little bit back and forth. But it seems to say that right now there's no really good local continuation. Okay, now it's saying here. I'm guessing if white connects, it's very bad shape for white. So it's like looking at some other... This is very complicated. To allow this capture and cut here. Okay. So in the game, he just went for this corner. Like this. White resisted this way. This is kind of saying, I don't want to lose my corner. Like if white like this, you get this kind of connection. I mean, you can still keep most of the corner, but black got something nice in center. Or like maybe you have like this later threatening r2. So this kind of move is really saying, like still you get this, right? So I don't know what I'm talking about. And then you have this arch in the corner. I don't like this so much in this case. This seems to make more sense then. Hello, Nikola Tesla. But this is a little bit complicated to think about with this kind of cut, you know. So, okay, we do have this move. And black doesn't Hane. I think Hane is important here, right? Like it seems like such an annoying shape for white. Like if white comes out now, you still like you just lose the whole corner. Okay, he didn't Hane. And okay, now he gets the Hane. But now, okay, the tiger mouth now is kind of sad because you don't actually threaten r2, right? Like if you play r2, now white Ataris. So this seems weird. Who is winning? On this board right now, white is doing well, according to the AI, but we're also not caught up to the actual game. You can see the actual game in the small square there, and there I don't know. And we only have, as far as I know, one out of the 4 boards, we have 1 win so far. And then possibly doing well on board 2 and not so well on board 4. That's the situation. Yeah, I don't like this N2 move. But yeah, so that's bad news because we are black. Sweden is black. Okay. White cut. I mean, there's not even like... I guess there is the... like, you could do this ko here. Like, is one idea. But not really right now. But I guess later there's something there, but... Okay. White cut. And... just speeding through a bit to catch up here. So black is managing this group, right? We're connected, kind of. We're moving out. And now if we're separating white, maybe things will start to look up. But AI still says not so happy. So yeah, so this kind of RG here is still a problem, right? What are we doing about this? In the game, white doesn't play. I think white could just play here immediately. AI says so. Okay, and after black gets R8, then there is a chance that this ko could be annoying, right? Because it gets a lot heavier now for white. So let's just play some passing move. And let's just pretend we have some ko threats. We take here, and white plays some ko threats. And now black takes, and now suddenly white is already dead here. So white does add a move, that does make sense. Okay, that's nice. So black got something out of the N2 affair, that black got this move in center, R8. Oh wow. So this, just like before, white played this ambitious K13 move in the center, and now black is saying like, I want to get in on that action, I'm gonna attach to it and build my own area. It's a very creative move. It could be good. It's hard to say. I think I like it. I wonder also if there is a plan of like follow-up here where, like, if black gets to... like, white also needs to think about the ladder still, right? Like, so depending on how the fighting continues here, it's something white has to keep in mind. So let's say white tanukis, for instance. Now, let's say black harness up here. Is that starting to threaten the coming out with the ladder? Something we could think about. But something else we need to think about is what's happening down here, because black looks dead. It looks dead. Like if right now there's a cut here, like if you move out, you just cut. And if you connect, then doesn't seem to be enough space to live. So that's a problem. In the game, okay, now black gets the ko in. Okay, some timing there. And now Hane. It seems like a pretty good ko threat. Like if white just like finishes the ko, white spends some extra tempo down here. Black gets to like follow up in the center and is starting to threaten the ladder. So yeah, white does respond. Black here, and again, ko is heavy for white. Like I think white just has to connect now. Can't really be like starting to make threats from what black can just take here. Oh, black here again. Again, seems like a big threat. Like probably white would just connect. And then again, we could reevaluate this coming out. Let's just see how's the situation right now. Like white is very strong on this side, but this other side is quite weak, right? So it seems maybe possible. But there can be some other shape here that I'm not really... Like maybe this shape is not so happy for black, to say the least. Yeah, okay. So maybe it's still premature. Come out. Black connect. Extend. Continuing to build the right side. Jump in here. You saw before that there was some algae with the C4 cut still. I mean, not like immediately here, it's not going anywhere, but there's some... it means basically that you can get kind of F5 in center as white. But now black jumps here. So maybe this was not the right shape to invade the left side. Like you could... AI is saying here, peep the C4 cut. Which is interesting. This kind of shape. Okay. Well, the situation is that white is still up 10 points here, with black dying on the lower side. But black got a lot of compensation on the right, so yeah, it's only 10 points. Just needed to download the new version of the SGF to get the latest moves. Okay, so black jumps, white comes out. Aha. Okay, let's take it a little bit slower and use the AI to help us. Right now, I want to see, like, if we catch a moment where there is a big swing, you know, then we would like to hone in on this. So black is catching up a little bit, but this cut is a mistake because this Hana is too nice shape for white. Even the squeeze you have here is not really pleasant because, like, taking this move actually loses a liberty for you. So he did cut here, but then he extended, and seems maybe hard to save these stones, is the problem. He did try to save them. White plays here. Yeah, so it's looking a little bit rough right now. They're both similar on the clock. White has 15 minutes, black 13 minutes. So I guess it's time to... Oops, I closed one of the games. Let's go back to Lua. Actually, not too much happened in this game, but okay, let's check it quickly. Okay. Where did we leave? We left the game around here. So it was saying here that black needed to add a move, and indeed black found this blue move. But we're rooting for white, okay? Who is doing well right now. So she's not trying to directly save these stones, but is trying to use them to... Like now this is kind of forcing black to take care of this group, and this would help white to settle on the right side. I guess it's the idea, because this is not looking like these stones, these white stones are going to die basically, it looks like, when black comes out here. So this is just a way to try to settle on the right. But here I feel like white was hoping for this kind of result, so black resisted this way. This is maybe not so happy for white, I don't know. Like it can be okay because you're threatening this cut, but now black just connects. I feel like you didn't get much, right? I don't know. So what's the score here? Yeah, you lost a little bit of the lead. Still okay for white, but... So what was some other ideas here, maybe? Immediately here, I guess this leaves a little bit more flexibility. Let's say you want to go into the corner. Like, let's look at some variation like this. I was going to say that if you just want to live in the corner, you don't want to have made some bad exchange out here, but now it still wants to come back here. Do some other exchange. Okay, let's just see what happened in the game. So white is being quite generous here, giving these points, but feeling like, okay, I reduced a little bit, and now I'm threatening to save my stones here as well. So now black captured these on quite a small scale. Oh, even forcing like this. I guess black feels that it's necessary to kill them, not only for points, but otherwise this group is becoming weak, you know? Okay, so we made it here. There were some more moves. White played 2 space and approach and high. So now we're live. Oh, drats, black caught up. So white didn't do well enough on the right side, it seems. Black got too much points. That is unfortunate. Still close, only 5 points. So yeah, anything can happen. Let's then check up on Mark. Hope it's not too much switching. You know, you can let me know if you feel like I'm switching too much or too little between the games. But I'm trying to switch like when I have nothing else to say about the game, basically. And it's like we're caught up and feels like it's time to watch something else. So yeah, we left this one. This one was also not looking good, unfortunately. We left it after black had lived in the upper left corner. Wait, why is this? I got the wrong SGF. Here we go. Okay. So it was like this, and yeah, here I was saying it was basically game over because white is behind by more than 20 points. So let's just quickly see, like, is anything big happening here? White is making some points in the center, it's nice. Oh, but black got a cut here? What? That's so big. I guess the center was also big, so it was, yeah, black was going to get one of them. This move is strange. This is some real kind of like definitely winning move. Oh, I see. So it's connecting these stones. I was wondering why, like, just adding an extra eye. But okay, so without this, you know, white still has a cut here. So black is saying, oh, I can make an extra eye, but main thing is saving these 2 stones. It's not the biggest thing on the board according to AI, but, you know, it makes sense. It's a big move. So I'm just going to go very quickly. White lost these stones down here. It's a little bit sad. It's quite common in these Pandanet games to play them out, even if there's like quite like even if you're losing by 20 or 30 points. I think it's some combination of like you don't like to give up if there's like any chance, when it's like you have a team behind you, you know, that would be disappointed in you if you didn't give it your all. But also, you know, in a regular tournament, you know, you have a next round to think about. Here it's just, you know, you might as well finish the game if it's the only game you have in the evening. So I just noticed that even at like the high ranks, it's not uncommon to see this like 20-30 points losses played out. So then I don't have to feel as bad about myself. We usually play this out because I don't know that I'm losing by 30, you know. So yeah, it seems like nothing big is going to happen here. This is going to be a loss for us. So what do we have left here? Charlie's game finished. This one is soon over. So then we have to choose between Luva's game and Tiger's game. Both of which we're behind in now. I mean, this is... Oof. Hope we can catch up in one of these. So let's begin with Tiger. Save this. Switch this. And open here. Okay, we left off around here. It was painful that black sort of has two weak groups here. So okay, but white is feeling like white needs a move here to connect the groups, which gives black a chance to get this nice Atari. That's a big upside. Black comes back connect. You're still threatening a nice Atari here. And white feels the need to add a move here. Why not like Atari on the outside first is my question. Maybe you're not sure which one you want, but... Oh, it's just like then black with Atari, of course. This kind of Atari would be really bad for white. It looks like, this is actually funny, like white has this sort of liberties on both sides, like you would, one of them would be enough, but it's almost like white could capture in this kind of ladder, but actually now white is in double Atari here. And I guess there's also no chance. So like this, it could be a problem, right? Like because now white could play here and you can't connect, but black could just use one of these Ataris. Then here, it's fine. How are we doing our winning? I don't see when you wrote that, but right now, it looks bad. Yeah, it looks like 1-3 right now. We'll see if we can, if either Luva or Tiger can make something happen. So this is basically where we're at. Yeah, so white had to Atari here to not allow that kind of squeeze underneath. And then white Ataris here. And yeah, this looks difficult for black, right? We're split and it's rough, but it's complicated. So this is like the kind of position where it could easily happen a big swing. So we should not give up hope on this game. Oh, it looks like the mark game is just about someone passed. So this one will be... Yeah, so this one will be a loss. We can just write this one up. So 1-1 is the score right now. And I guess we'll go back to the Luva game. Switch back and forth between these two. So back to Luva. Now at least we only have like 2 games to switch between, so slightly less confusing. Okay. So Luva was doing really well. And then, unfortunately, black got way too much points on the right side. So now black is a little bit behind. Only like 5 points. So let's see what happens. Black is making points on the left side. White is taking a big corner. Really big corner. Even playing this endgame. Yeah, okay. So, you know, it's nice to get a solid corner, but now white is really saying that there's no... I'm not going to jump in here. Like, you wouldn't want to make these exchanges and then make an invasion, right? So she's planning to go... I guess it was already very unreasonable to come in deep, right? So she thinks I can do this because I'm anyways going to come from a distance, you know, just reduce slightly. So, okay, I mean, this is not looking too bad. Katako says it looks quite bad, but to me it looked okay. Because to my human brain, let's get rid of this pesky analysis. To me this looks okay because white is starting to make some good points here. So if black doesn't come in right now, maybe white can make it up, you know. And I guess Katako was saying, like, just jump in, it's no problem, but maybe black can be a little bit worried, you know. I might die if I jump in. Just slide, probably enough also. So let's see. Black has lots of options. Lots of ways to reduce this. Like, I mean, you can just throw a stone anywhere and it somehow works. So yeah, slide is like losing a little bit of points, because I guess now white is getting more than she deserves, but even this is enough to keep a comfortable lead, I guess. Do we call this a comfortable lead? This is one of the things that, like, at my level, this is like on the edge. Like, I think if I was leading by 10 points here, I would call this a comfortable lead. But just 6? That's still possible for me to mess up in that game. But, you know, if it was like a pro player, they would just resign. You know, 6 points here, it's impossible. And not much happening. We're waiting for black to make a move. Maybe I should just switch over to the PandaNet interface for a while. It's easier to switch back and forth between the games. So we go like this. Because then you can also see the clocks, which is nice. Yeah, you know, I would also feel like if I was winning by 6 points going to that game, it's probably a win, but it wouldn't be like I'm sure to win, you know. It's like this percentage is very different depending on your level. And I guess, yeah, 80%. Is it only 80%? You know, it depends on the position, of course. Yeah, I also agree with what Anton is saying. So, wait, did anything more happen in... We could... This game is still going on. Why... Let's just see what happened here. I'm confused. Because at some point here, black passed. So here black said that the game was over, and then Mark... Yeah, there's some dame left they should play out, probably. Okay, and now they're passing again. I was just wondering, like, is Mark going to start playing some... Trying some stuff, obviously not working, but no, I think he just... mainly filled the dame. Okay, now they're scoring. Okay. So Tiger game. We left it at this Atari. Like connect, extend. Yeah, so this is the sad thing. that black is split apart. The good news is it's kind of messy. And this Atari here is it interesting? I feel like it's a little bit interesting, but that's not what black plays. I guess this is also good enough, because white doesn't really have the time to capture the other stones now, right? If white plays from the outside, I need to turn on coordinates. Black would capture c12 and these stones die. So I guess this is Santa. White connects. This is also Santa. And now you get here. Okay, that's quite nice. Now this shape is kind of weird. Like white could h15. Feel like maybe that's what you have to do. Like if you play g15, looking for 2 cuts, problem is black can connect here and have a ladder. So this is basically fully connected. So I think white has to play h15. Okay. So that's nice. We got another win. So as I was saying, white really cannot play this way because black is now fully connected. And then something white is going to die, right? It looks like white would have to take the ko here to try to live on the left side. But that was a sudden thing. We should look at... Yeah, it's also not clear, even with this, it's not clear that white needs to resign. There's some possibility left, but I understand why you resigned as well. Okay, let's move this over here, and then let's go here and here. So Tiger, well done, amazing. Another point on the board. I should also put this up. I should write plus. And we're looking at this one. Okay, and the small board is looking weird, but that's okay. Let's just look at the end here. So at the very end, I was saying white could Atari here, but this seems to be not the way. This is crazy. This AI is telling me, okay, it's changing its mind. Like it's saying like white up by 1 point, and simultaneously it's saying that white is about to die on the left side. But it gets really complicated here, right? There's so much things that can die. But I was wondering about this kind of move. This is like the only local shape I saw doing something. It seems like it's not quite good enough, but you get some trade like this. So this is already capturing these stones, like... Well, it's a ko right now, but black cannot connect here because then you capture them. So black, let's say, finish these off, white finish these off. So I feel like this would be a fine thing to go for as white. Like, it turns out it's slightly bad, but you know, this kind of small difference can't really count in the game. So that would have been fine. In the game, this one, it's a little bit early to resign. So, okay, what's the point of playing here? That you would like to... Oh, you can do this one! Well, then it's quite nice. I mean, you're losing by a lot, but this seems worth playing on for. I didn't see this possibility. Still need to keep an eye out for the shortage of liberties here, yeah. It's almost like, I guess black doesn't have a chance to Atari here. Because it would be nice then if we could Atari first and then here. To not give white that option, but I guess then, you know, white will not respond to this, is the problem. Maybe there was some earlier time when we could have Atari there. You know. Okay, so that's one thing, but also then white can take here, and you know, you have that thing in the bag if you need it, but you would rather try to get something here first. So yeah, still a game, seems like. You see, it's even like, you see the win percentage here for Kotago is like 10%. This is like, Kotago is saying like, I could lose this still as, what do you say, as black. So, a little bit early to resign. Okay, now we only have one game left, so let's jump back to Luva. I'm being told something happened. Oh, annoyingly successfully. Okay, that's sad. Luva here, SGF, save. Okay, am I in the right place? Luva. And looks correct, right? Okay. Black invaded. Okay, so that means right now we have 2 points. They have 1 point. And if we lose this game, it's a draw. And when we left it around here, we were saying, okay, it depends sort of how well black can invade. Black used this forcing move, then here. Yeah, it's really a solid invasion. But, okay, now we see this was apparently a little bit slow. So this is already a chance to catch back up. Let's see what happened. Yes. Yeah, see, this is much closer now. What happened next? Just like this. And a touch here. So 5-point game. Still some hope. It's like probably lost, but it's too early to give up hope. Maybe I should expand this thing so you can see the clocks. Can I do that? You don't really need the flags, right? Just like this. Oh, that's ugly. Do you even see those clocks? Are they too small? I don't know. I'm struggling for screen space here. We should maybe just watch on the net instead. Let's jump over there. It also takes some of the mystery out of it, constantly staring at the AI, so we can use the score estimator instead, and that's better because it's often very wrong, so it's more exciting, right? So, black attach. This is annoying. White loses some points here. Then white gets to come in here. We're threatening nothing in particular here, but some F8, H8 are sent. It's interesting. They're both in main time still. Playing quite quickly. And they're still like the last game. Like all the games are quick today. Head of the 4 stones. h8, yeah, right? That's would be natural follow-up. Oops. Yeah, it's good that there's some, like, there's some chance to make mistakes here for sure. Particularly in this area, right? There's not much else going on, but like this area, still some chance that it's a bit annoying. And like if black tries to just keep all the points, like you would like to play like f9 or something, then white extends here and it's like annoying double peep. So this looks like a good move, but yeah, maybe now h8. H8, and it seems like black cannot really Atari, because then you Atari here. So it seems like black just has to maybe connect. And then do we need to come back with J9? I feel like that's the case. Like if we try to keep going in, then I think black cuts and we just die. So probably H8, G7, come back. And then black wants to... Oh, black could play G8 now. Wasn't it an interesting idea to play G8 there? Well, it's good. if it was good, I'm glad black didn't find it. Maybe G8 white just connects solidly and... oh, but then we keep most of the points, you know. Anyways, now I think white has to come back here. And black can maybe still just like attach here. Keep the points. Bump? Which way? Do you just mean h9 or what's the... G8, G10. Whoa. You're saying here if G8, G10, but then black Atari's here? You were thinking about cutting here? At the start? Wait. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, it's easy to get lost which place you're talking about. We can cut now and then aim to cut L10. I guess Anton is saying G10 to cut this down. So it's maybe some immediate profit, and then we have this follow-up, which black would... Like that's quite big. I'm guessing like black would want to immediately, let's say L9. And then we have Atari and here, and we could squeeze these a little bit, so we could keep more of these points. I don't know, maybe it's not good enough. They're not quite short enough on liberties, but... Yeah, I feel like white is doing well. Oh, and this is Sente. That's nice, nice to get. Although now... Oh, black play f10 now. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, let's hope black doesn't play f10. Yeah, what other big points are left? h4? Atari. Oh. I mean, it's not doing much though, right? It's just like an Atari black captures. I mean, sure, that's already like, yeah, it's 1 point there, another point with Atari. It's nothing to scoff at, but it's not quite big enough to catch up the deficit. Okay. I think this can go on for a while still, so I need a bathroom break here, so I hope they don't finish before I come back, but be back in a moment. Okay, what did I miss? Oh, black did play here. Oh, this push. Okay. Split this as b5, g1 seems big. b5, g1, yes. Clamp. Is clamp something? Go. Yeah, maybe. It probably doesn't work, but something. Okay, let me try to follow this sequence. So we honeyconnect, later we b7 clamp. D8? What? Clamp E8. You already lost me. At the beginning of the sequence. But anyways, oh, you mean like clamp what, like goes down? What? Yeah. G10 made L9 not work. G10. L9? Oh, I see. So L9 now, you're saying we actually capture one stone. I guess. But with this exchange... Black has this peep in center. Is that the issue? But I still don't see how... What's the plan after, like, L9? Oh, here. Yeah, okay. Oh, white does play L9. Black takes this center, then this center. Oh no, black got everything. Okay, that feels bad. That feels really bad. Okay. I don't even know why I'm checking the score estimator, because I know I can't trust it, but... maybe with this I can give us some hope, because this is saying black up by 10, but actually it's saying that these white stones are dead, and they are not dead. So that's already... then it's just 4-point game. I guess that's enough also. So now, okay, white is trying something on the left side. I feel like I should say here, like, even if white loses this by a small margin here, like, it was really... It was like a close game throughout, and to even come back and make it quite close here, even after... Yeah, like, white was behind a bit, but it has gone now a little bit back and forth, I think. So it was a really good fight put up by white. I just feel like, you know, when I've played in these myself, you feel such pressure, like letting down your country, you know, letting down your teammates. It's really crushing to lose a game, so I don't want us to be too negative over here, you know. We should be appreciating the effort. But this one is probably not going anywhere, right? Because there's nothing happening with the C9 cut. Okay, so this is just some resigning sequence almost. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it should be said that like the players who lose to do much more than I do, who don't even play today. It's kind of the point I like to make, I guess. So we'll sit out end here, but now I think she might resign soon, because when this doesn't lead anywhere, this is just a huge minus. I mean, maybe not huge minus, but like black got this J2 endgame for free, basically. Oh, and white had to come back up here. It looks almost like there could be a, what's it called, Semidori here, where like black is not alive on the outside. Like when white plays J3, then there's no eye down here, so black only has one eye. But the problem is that it's one eye versus no eye. So this is like black doesn't need to spend any moves to capture here before the end of the game. So it's like it's not a real Samidori. Didn't even get H4. Yeah, that is unfortunate. But you know, H4 doesn't do a lot on its own. So it's kind of like, you know, we made black play like quite a small move, you know. It's trying to see the bright side. Oh, didn't get T8 though. Oh, that one hurts. T8 feels like it should be definitely white center, because after T8, let's say white plays T8 right now, and black comes in here, then you actually have R9 and Atari underneath, and you wreck like so many points. So T8, black would have to S9, and that's a 2 points gain. A little bit more maybe, but even assuming black later gets the Atari and we connect, we already reduced 2 points. So just making sure I updated all the results. Yeah, so it seems like it will be a 2-2, which is, you know, it's okay. Wasn't it, was it the same last round that we also got a draw, which was maybe less than we were hoping for? Versus Lithuania. Yes, that was also a draw. So the league situation right now is that we're like at the top. I mean, not at the very top, but like towards the top of the League B. So we really feel that like every match here matters, and there's a chance that we could move up to League A. But I guess right now it's starting to look a little bit pessimistic. So right now we can switch over to this while the game is finishing up, because it's not that exciting. Just wanted to show the situation here. So we're tied. I think this is like before all of today's matches. We were tied for points with Italy. I guess there's some tie break here. I don't know. Is this just like games won, something like this? So I guess it's quite relevant. How did Italy do today? Maybe we should check that. So May 2nd, they played Turkey. Oh, there's no result here yet. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna go around hunting for the games on Pandanet, that's too much work. But if someone else wants to go and try to find out the Italy results, we can put our own results into context. Because basically, like, if they also drew or lost, you know, then that's okay. But if they won, you know, then we fell behind today. So that would be sad. Okay, maybe you should just, you know, we should stop thinking about the game result and just try to, practice our endgame by picking the next biggest endgame moves, you know? So, but white is still doing some weird stuff. There isn't much left though, right? Like, so white should push here at some point. Yeah, this push, of course. In the center area, like, is it true that black could peep and then K9, right? That's the way to save L9. Okay, so white plays here. That is making some extra point here. Makes sense. But actually, like, maybe it's just bigger to play A4. A4 is quite big because it's black center. And this one still black gets a bunch of like you tar here and then you tar here. So I feel like the J9 didn't make that many points actually. And now I wonder if black will I feel like white should have captured there, because now it seems like L7 is anyways, black can do this, but L7 is quite an interesting point for both now. You're immediately making a point, destroying an opponent point, and then you have a follow-up Atari. So it's like I don't know, it's 6 points or something. But black played this. I feel like L7 is definitely bigger than E1, right? Because this should just be sort of 1 point reverse center, let's say. So we'll call this like 2 points. And this is assuming E1 is center, you know, which is a little bit generous to white. Yeah, anyways. So now white gets L8, L7, score. And black here. What was this? Was there some... Oh, there will eventually be something needed here? No, what? I don't see the point of this capture, but I mean, anyways, white could Atari next, but now... it doesn't really matter. I guess another thing we could do, we could kind of go back in this game and sort of recap the sort of where it went wrong. But I mean, now it's basically over. Maybe we should just watch that. But that would maybe have been a better way to spend the time here. So my understanding was it was just the right side. Like before white came into the right side, I think it was okay for white. But then somehow white got all the points on the black got all the points on the right side, and it was just too much point for black. That is my crude understanding of the issue. And we'll go back and look at it again just after they fill the last dame. Because now we'll also get a final score here. But I guess the score is like... could have been a bit smaller. Like I think Lova was trying some things because she knew she was behind. Things on the left side lost a few points. So it looks like final score will be like 12 points or so. And it was definitely closer for a while there. So yeah, 2-2 is official soon. There we go, white pass. They're scoring. $11.5 points. Yep. So well played to all the players, regardless of the results. It was some good games. Let's just do a quick recap of that last one. This one here. So final result is 2-2. And I just wanted to recap again that, yeah, white had quite a good position here. Katago is saying, you know, white +8. But it's not so easy to know how to handle this right side. I quite like this idea to start here. Like, it's apparently not the right one, but it seems sort of nice to me to get some forcing moves and then just live here. Because, like, if I just come out like this, then I feel like I'm just running, you know? So I like the idea of giving these stones. But apparently you should start here. But then, like, it seems very complicated. So, like... even like if I got this position in front of myself right now and had to play it, you know, it would help to know that white is supposed to be better and that you can maybe play a little bit, you don't need to play the most severe moves. But still, I feel like it would be super easy to mess this up again, this right side. Seems hard. Because she played here and... yeah, it would be easy to think that, like, maybe we like this score may just be representative of like really being able to exploit this to the fullest. So maybe it's not like a realistic score either for us. But just the sequence was like, already now you see it's like much, the gap is sort of closing because black is making too many points. So like you had to find some way here to, like even now, like do something else here. It just looks so much harder. So what would be like an easy, can we come up with like an easy way to handle this? Like you can play some move like this maybe, and then let me just play here. And let's just say black takes the stones, and we just give them like this. You know, maybe something like this. Like if I had a minute to prepare here with AI and then had to jump back into the game, I would try to find some easy way like this where you give back some points for reclamation. N16. Oh, this one. Yeah, that's a more... No, wait, N16. This one. Ah, so even give maybe more of the points. Here I would be scared that I'm giving too much. So what's the deal here? Like black captures, then okay, this shape is good enough. Okay, you get to reduce a bit more here. But maybe this one? I don't know. I think also maybe jumping out is also just okay. Like obviously the AI is saying it's okay, but like from a simplicity standpoint, like if you just have to worry about saving this group, and there's some potential here that you can, you know, black is not alive. It's not only running with a weak group, you know, it's mostly running with a weak group, but there is this slight other element to it. I don't know though, I still don't like saving these stones. Maybe like here, and jump, here, you know. I'm thinking something like this, like just get some stones in this area in some order. Yes, R11. So okay, I guess the next question is like, how do you follow up R11? You're just saying here. Like this. It's also makes some sense. This feels a little bit heavy, like if black cuts, I guess. Oh wow, there's a move here. Interesting. I thought the plan was just to give it, but I guess that's not good enough. What is this idea? Oh, there's like a Koei shape here. It totally wasn't on my radar that there would be some connection here. You know, if I had this stone, I would see that I can connect. But even without this, you just Hane, and then you Atari, and black cannot connect here because it's this kind of shape. So it will be a code to connect. You see, this is the kind of Aji you have to see to, you know, actually get the score that Katago is saying here. You have to like fully use these stones when you give them up. It's very hard. Okay. I will call it there for the night. Thanks to everyone joining in, and especially the non-Swedes for joining and sharing with us. I think we're like, at least based on chat, it's like 50-50 maybe. Swedes and non-Swedes. There's a lot of Swedes here, but I appreciate the other guys as well. I will, as usual, just see if I can find someone to raid. We'll do Midnight to Blue again. This has become somewhat of a tradition here, because he's always streaming when I stop. Midnight Blue. Okay, yeah. Thanks for today. See you in the next one. Bye bye.